Well, welcome again, dear viewers of Good Morning DRC TV. As you can see, today we are the 29th of January. It is the day that the President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, President Felix Tshisekedi, has decided to give a position of the Democratic Republic of Congo in what is known as the message to the nation. He wanted to let the people of Congo understand what is actually happening. Now, obviously, people have been waiting to hear from him because since this, if you like, Goma was invaded by Rwanda, people were expecting the president to speak. Now, he had summoned his cabinet and he has spoken to a number of people so that he can basically come to a conclusion as to what to tell the nation of Congo. What I have to say is during the last 4 days or the last week or so, there has been a lot of conversation that has taken place. Now, one thing that you have to understand is that the president doesn't just come out and speak and say what he wants to say. He will have to take into consideration everything that surrounds the situation in the Congo. As much as the president wants to stand up and say, let's go and invade Rwanda, let's go into war, let's go and defend our country by every means and all means necessary, you have to understand that he is under so much pressure. Now, my contacts have told me how much pressure the president of the Democratic of Congo is under. And you may ask, what kind of pressure? Who is putting pressure on him? I'll tell you, because the conflict in the eastern part of Congo is not only to do with Rwanda. Rwanda has Western powers that are backing him up, that are actually arming him, that are actually giving him the tools and the fighting, the armaments that he needs, and the logistics and all the weapon, the latest weapon that we have. Rwanda receives this from its partners, and the partners of Rwanda are well known. At this stage, we may ask ourselves if the US is behind all of this. Let me tell you this. From what I know is that the US, Canada, France, the UK, Belgium, most of the Western countries are behind Rwanda. You may say, why are they behind Rwanda? It's because of the natural resources that is in the Democratic Republic of Congo. They want to lay their hands on this so that it can actually feed the West. Now, the war that we have there in the eastern part of Congo is a proxy war. You need to understand. It's pretty much like what is happening in Ukraine and Russia. Now, don't you understand, or you may also realize that, it's not Ukraine that is fighting Russia, but it is NATO. It is the Western countries that are fighting Russia using the Ukraine. Pretty much what is happening in the DRC as well. So the Western powers who have always wanted to divide the country, to balkanize the Congo, they are now using Rwanda to do their dirty work. And this is what Kagame has been doing all along. So the president has received calls from the United States, from France, from many countries, just telling him, look, calm down, let's use diplomatic means in order to resolve this problem. And this is what he has been actually doing, just listening, because he knows, if you can understand, this problem has already gone to the Security Council. They have already talked about this. They understand. There have been many reports saying that Rwanda is actually behind what is happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo. But why hasn't the UN Security Council place or impose sanctions on Rwanda, what they have actually done to Putin in Russia? Why are they not doing it in Rwanda's situation? So we can actually understand that there is something that is happening there that is definitely wrong. You can hear this lady from South Africa is voicing her opinion, or South Africa's opinion, in this matter. And she is making it clear to them to understand that what is happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo is is wrong because Rwanda is actually invading another nation's sovereignty, and you are sitting here not doing anything in spite of all the proof that has been brought to you. You have done nothing, and this is absolutely wrong. South Africa has lost its UN or MONUSCO soldiers. About 13 South Africans have already died, have lost their lives, and they're not happy about this. They understand that it is the Security Council that are not imposing sanctions. They are allowing basic Rwanda to do what it wants, and that is wrong. And we know why. Because Rwanda is being used by the Western powers to do its bidding, and this is why they're not sanctioning Rwanda. See, what's happened here is in Goma right now, as you can see, yes, of course, Goma has come under attack. Now, if you can see the logistics that has been used, the weapons that have been used, it's just not Rwanda itself. It's backed by the Western powers. But what has happened in the last 2 days, now we understand that they have Rwanda army, that is, they have captured mercenaries that have come from Romania. Now, obviously, you can understand in any war or in any battle, a nation is allowed to recruit mercenaries from different places. Now we're seeing here all the mercenaries that have come from Romania. I'm not sure if all these people have come from Romania, but many of them would have come from the eastern part of the Congo. Now, if these are private security companies that have sent in their mercenaries to do the work for, or at least to fight alongside the FARDC, which is the Congolese army. Now, they need personnel, they need people who know how to manipulate the machines, the drones, and the helicopters that they do have, and this is why these people were recruited to come and help them. Now that the battle has gotten to this stage and they don't want to die, and they don't want to die for the Congo because they're not there for the Congolese people because they love them, they're there to make their money, and they have already been paid a handsome money, or a handsome a good amount of money really to come to the Congo and to fight. And now they say, look, we better pack and go home. And this is what they have done. They've surrendered to the Rwanda's army, and they're crossing borders. They're going to board the plane and leave the country. So now we need to learn that we have, or the Congolese need to invest in its own army. Yes, by all means, look, Russia is actually recruiting men and women to come and fight from North Korea. And we understand that Iran is also sending its military forces to help Russia. This happens in any battle, in any war. So, but we need to understand that Congo, in spite of what is happening, the president is under pressure. Now, what he said to the people essentially is this. He said, we have to be strong. We have to stay united. We have to be as a nation. We have to defend our country. We have to do whatever it takes for us to defend our country. And he has called out on the United Nations. He says, many of you are quiet. You are not saying anything. In the midst of this, you are seeing what is happening, but you decided to be quiet and not act on this, not imposing sanctions. He's actually telling them that, this is happening under your nose and you are well aware of this. Now, we have to understand that whatever unfolds, it's also not going to be blamed on the Congolese people itself. Now, you have to understand that he's being diplomatic here. He's not saying, okay, I'm declaring war, but he's using terms and terminology here in order to send a clear message to Congolese that they have to stand and fight for their nation. And this is what is going to unfold in the coming days. So the president is right. He's not declaring war, but he is saying it's a coded kind of message to the nation that we have to stand and we have to fight for what is ours. So as you can see him now going into his presidential palace. Now, it will be some time before he comes out to give a message again, but he has already said everything that needs to be said. Congo needs to stand and we need to fight for our nation. If we don't, then nobody else is going to do it for us. This is the clear message that the president has given. And we can see, look, all these Congolese people, soldiers, they have been taken by Rwanda. Now, what we do understand is that some of these soldiers, they were just the population who were tired of the situation, and they were given the ammunition and armaments to go and fight. Because at this stage, anybody who can fight for Congo must stand and fight for the nation so that it's not taken by Rwanda. And this is the situation that we have. Everybody is rising, they're standing together, say, look, we have to go and we have to fight for our nation. Look, the mercenaries are going back. They've packed their goods and they're getting on the flight and they are leaving the country. They are now in Rwanda, and from then on they're going to go back. But people in Goma, this is where the battle is, and we have to stand as a nation and we have to fight. This is the current reality of the situation as of the 29th of January, this very Wednesday. Now, we will bring you more information as it unfolds. Stay put. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and share this message. Thank you, and we'll see you in our next video.